Welcome back to Celebrity Radio. It's Alex Belfield talking to some of the country's biggest stars, some of my favourite people, and one of the newest and most brilliant comedians on the circuit is our Trace. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
It's so nice to see you. Tracey Rhodes, I mean, here you are about to do a club tonight and you're packing them in. You're doing great business, but I mean, you've got two lives really, a normal life and a showbiz life.
Yeah, I have. By day, my proper job is a mental health worker. And of the evening, I'm a stand-up comedian.
I suppose it's the same job, really, isn't it? I mean, you're both trying to sort of work out people's minds and sort them out and hopefully make them laugh by the end of it.
Do you know what? It's a scientific fact that the best medicine is laughter. Yeah.
How did you get started? I mean, you've got such a unique ability to be funny. I mean, you're funny before you've even said anything. The way you stand on stage, the way you look on stage, the way you walk on stage is just funny. Were you always funny?
Naturally, I don't think so. No, that's a persona. You know, Laurence Olivier, when he gets into character, he has to have a specific walk. Our Trace, you know, the character that it has to have what do you call it? Accent. Then the dress, you know, the dress you see and the hat and everything, over 20 years old.
And then we haven't mentioned the sex appeal. I mean, this is a big part of the act.
The Guinness guzzling, larger-than-life, man-eating northerner. Sex object? I don't think so.
How did you come up with it? I mean, most comedians go on stage and want to look as nice as they can. You're very selfless as a performer, aren't you? Because you put the comedy before your own vanity.
Are you saying I'm cheap?
Yeah. A sex symbol. I've said it, Trace. Is it fun being you? Because there's a moment when you walk out where people go, what the is this? Because it's shocking for a moment, isn't it?
It is shocking, but you know what? It's amazing how they just warm to the character. And you in that first 30 seconds, you know, and you've got them, you know. And I think you start off by taking the mickey out of yourself, and then the audience, they accept taking the mickey out of them.
And it's so great what you do because it's relatable. I mean, we all know a Trace, especially when I think of my grandma's generation, the way she dresses with that frock. I mean, we all knew them. They could have even been our mother or grandmother. You're playing on that, aren't you? That it's immediately familiar.
How old do you think I am? Grandma. I am a grandma. Yeah, I am a grandma, but...
But the way she dresses, come on, that's grandma.
It is.
How do you think of the jokes? I mean, many of them are just classic gags, and then you make it your own and you put this wonderful timing into it. How do you do it? Do you stand in front of a board? What's your way of learning the act?
Originally, all them years ago, what I did, right, because it's all about the timing, isn't it? So what I used to do, I used to stand in front of a mirror and I used to put these marbles in my mouth. And then I used to tell a gag. And until I got the timing right, I kept adding all the marbles. And when I got the timing right on this gag, I'd still stand in front of the mirror and I'd start fetching the marbles out. Right? Carry on telling the gag. Once I'd perfected the timing and lost all my marbles, I became a comic.
And at what point did you know this was going to be for you? Because it must be intimidating as we sit here today. I mean, there's hundreds of people going to be here tonight, all excited to see you and see your act. I mean, that takes great confidence. And of course, the thing about Trace is she's just one of us. You can't walk on all starry, can you?
No, definitely not starry. I think what did it? All those years ago, we were asked to do a care home for this lady's 80th birthday party. And that's where I got the idea of our Trace. Dress up in a character, same dress, same glasses, same hat. And it was very gentle comedy in those days. But one of the residents wet herself laughing, you know. And it was then we decided, how do we get into this? Because I was going to go back into my acting. But we decided to go for the comedy instead. And we ain't looked back.
You've always been in show business. Tell me about your beginnings as a child. How did you get into this line of work? What made you want to do it?
I did a lot of acting in my late teens, early 20s, pantos, comedies, and it just came from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here you are today touring the whole country. What's life like for you? Because you're trying to juggle a proper job and then being a star too. It's difficult, isn't it?
It's very difficult. It was very overwhelming when this viral thing happened last year, and I did burn myself out because I don't want to pack in my day job because I love it. This year we've paced ourselves out, so it's nice. It's nice.
You mentioned the viral thing. I think this is what we all got to see on Facebook, and somebody had filmed you doing your act on 2 chairs, and this thing ended up going around the world, didn't it? I mean, an extraordinary success and proof that you can be a star from nothing and people will find you.
Do you know what? To this day, I still can't believe that's happened. Over 7 million to date. We've been talking to people on Facebook from New York, Tasmania, Australia, Ireland, all over. It's been amazing.
Are you big in the Balearics? Where do you go down well?
Big in the what? Australia, they love the humour. Ireland, and they all want a piece of our trace, and I don't know how to get there. Like, you know, it's so frustrating. We want to go up Scotland because they love the type of humour. Yeah.
So I guess the next step is going from the clubs to the theatres and getting a tour together. This is what you're trying to do. I mean, I know you did the Albert Halls in Bolton, which was a huge success, and taking the next step is tricky. You're not going to leave your full-time job. Is that the way you're feeling at the moment, or is that possible?
I'm a realist. The bubble can burst any day, can't it, in this business? And it's just my luck. If I pack my job in, the bubble's going to burst. So I don't want to pack my job in because I love my job, but I love this as well, you know.
I think it's perfect, though, to do a proper job during the week and then come out and have a bit of fun and dress up on a Friday and Saturday. It's marvellous.
It is, yeah. And do you know what? Just to make somebody happy, just to make somebody laugh. And we get all these stories on Facebook, how people are low and they're depressed and they weren't going to come out, but they came out because they were dragged by their friends, and it was the best laugh they've had in months. That's worth all the money. Forget the money. That's worth more than all the money in the world to me. Just knowing you've turned somebody's mental health round. Yeah.
I worked with Doddy for many, many years, and he always said the hardest bit is walking out and building the bridge. How long does it take you for them to get what our trace is? Because there's got to be a little gap between you walking on and them going, oh, I get it.
20 seconds.
Really that quick?
I come out, do a bit of a song, get them all clapping, and then I'll say to them, you know, how naughty do you want me to be on a scale of 1 to 10? And then they say 10, and I'm like... yeah.
Is it still fun? I mean, a gag's a gag. You can tell it here today, you can tell it somewhere tomorrow, but the audience is always going to be different, and I guess that's what keeps you on your feet.
I'm very conscious about going back to a venue and doing the same stuff, but they go mad if you don't do the same stuff because they enjoyed it the first time, so you can't win. You can't win.
Is there a gag they all look forward to and you enjoy telling the most?
Oh, there's a few. There's a few I love telling, yeah. And my husband gets the brunt of most of me gags. Yeah.
Where's the line? Is there a point where Trace says, that's too mucky, that's too naughty, we must stop now?
It's not about our Trace, it's about the audience, isn't it? And they want it. And do you know what? The elderly are the worst, you know.
Well, they've been at it long before we were.
Very true.
Never forget that.
Are you listening, Terry?
They play all innocent, don't they? But they know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And then you made the choice this year to go on Britain's Got Talent, which again is a brave move because you never know whether you're going to be ridiculed. And thank God it went really well. And they could appreciate that you're a stunning act that's got a great set of gags. And they all loved you.
It was a risk. We decided at the last minute to do it. I wanted the experience. Curiosity got the better of me. I wanted to know what it was all about. And do you know what? This time next year I might never have the opportunity to have done it again. So we went for it, and it was amazing. The back crew were amazing, the backstage crew. Got 4 yeses at the Lowry Theatre in Manchester, yeah. And then we got sent to the Palladium 2 weeks later and got sent home. But it was amazing. Would I do it all again? Yeah.
And talk to me about the Palladium. I mean, to walk out on that stage for any performer must be utterly thrilling.
Do you know what? Even though I walked out and I got sent home, at least I can say I stood on that stage with all the greats of the past that's been on that stage. I've stood on that stage. Yeah.
Did you lose your nerve a little bit? I mean, how nerve-wracking is it walking out to 2,800 people at the Palladium?
Not at all, no. No. There was one gag that I really wanted to say, and I was kind of bottling at the last minute. And one of the backstage crew says, "Just say it, Trace. They need a good laugh out there. Just say it." And it was towards Simon, because I thought, well, he's going to press his buzzer if I say this. And I thought, oh, what the hell, I'm going to say it. So I said, "Oh, Simon, all the years I've been watching you on the television, right, you're gorgeous. Gorgeous." I says, "But in the flesh, you're even better." I says, "If only I was still breastfeeding." He went red. Bashful, yeah. I did it, yeah.
And the reaction from the audience, I mean, you got big laughs. Again, that wave of sound must be incredible.
It was, yeah. Again, an experience I'm never going to forget, and I'm glad I did it, yeah.
And your life tonight, I mean, what are you sat here worrying about now other than having to talk to idiots like me? Is it remembering the gags? Are they going to like me? Or are you so confident now in the material and the character that you know you're just going to have a good night?
Confident. I'm never complacent. Can I put it that way? I'm never complacent. Never take anything for granted. It is what it is. I know what I've got to do. The guys here are assuring me that everybody's going to love it, so I'm happy with that, and I do my best. You can only do your best.
And you appear to have a line for everything. I mean, if anybody was stupid enough to heckle our Trace, they're probably not going to win, are they?
No, so I'm just trying to think of one that's kind of suitable, but I can't. I can't.
Who were the people who you thought were funny, who were your inspirations?
Do you know what? From the 70s, the original comedians. We were watching them last night. Kenny Goodwin, settle down now, Kenny Goodwin, the Bernard Mannings, the Mick Millers, the Stan Boardmans, the George Ropers. Loved them all. Love them all, because half of them are still going.
And I think what people forget is no matter how life moves on, no matter how many computer games we have, we're always going to want live entertainment. And you said the bubble could burst, but I don't think so. People are always going to want to laugh, aren't they?
They are, yeah. They are. But again, I don't take nothing for granted. Each day, each show is a bonus. And I'm very humbled by it all.
Well, you're also very good at it. And I just very finally want to talk about our Trace. Not you, our Trace. I want to find out about her health regime, her makeup and all of this stuff. I mean, will you be off to a gym now to prepare for this evening's performance?
The last time I went to a gym, I'm telling you now, right, I had a personal trainer, and he sat me down and he was asking me personal questions, Well, I were answering him one day, and he says, "Are you flexible?" I says, "Well, I can't make Mondays and Tuesdays." Now, that's the last place I try to go.
Is there a pressure not to lose weight? Because, I mean, our Trace wouldn't be our Trace if she was looking like, some stick model, would she?
If I had a pound for everybody who said that, I used to be one of twins, I ate the other one.
Tracey, thank you so much for your time. It's so nice to meet you, and you're one of the greats. You are a true entertainer and a variety performer. It's an honour to meet you. Thank you for your time.
The honour's mine. You are one of the greats. And it's lovely to meet you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you.